Episode 2, a guide to lure fishing. What's this episode about, Tom?
This one's all about lures. When you talk about lure fishing, you need to know what lures to use. So we're going to tell you what lures for pike, lures for perch, lures for Zander, okay? So, sit tight, sit down, get a cup of tea, and check it out.
Or a beer. Or a beer. Don't sit there. That's your mum's chair.
Your mum's chair. It's a nice shit.
Making for men. Okay, let's get this on here.
Whoa, no, that's not right. Go on, out the road. That's not right. This is a perch rod, and you can't throw this out because that would bamboozle itself. You need a pike rod for these. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about canal pike fishing and what lures I would use for that. Let's start off with this one. Now, as you see, this has got no weight on it. It's just got 2 hooks. These are stinger hooks. They come out so the pike can't use the lure to chuck the lure out of its mouth. This is great for like low and slow. Just cast in, wait 3 seconds, it's falling, and then a little retrieve. Paddle tail on there. It's got a great displacement of water around it. So that's like a nice slow searching, chilling for a pike. We've got this one, which is a hard bait. This is the flanker. Now, you know that we've been chatting about flankers for ages. This is a lure that will just suspend right on the surface. You need to retrieve it and it will crank down a little bit. And as you can hear, huge rattle in it. And the pike should take it on that hang. For another scenario, I would use a spinnerbait. These basically fish themselves. When you cast them in, they drop in the water. This is spinning on the drop, so it's even working as it's falling through the columns of the water. And I've caught pike on that drop. And these are great, let's say if you get to a canal and there's a marina around and you want to do some big long casts and see if there's any pike there. If I turn up to a canal the first time, this is probably what I'm using to see if there's a pike. You might not get a bite straight away on it, but you definitely get a follow. And I'll follow it in just out of sheer instinct. And then you know there's pike. Then you can try and finesse them more with a lure that can suspend and hang, because this doesn't really suspend, it just drops. So they are the lures that I would use for a canal. A shad with a paddle tail, a spinner, the flanker hard bait, the bill on it so you can crank down, big rattle, and then a nice big bait that's got a rattle in it, curly tail, nice and slow as well. Canal pike lures. If you want to know what rods we're using, go check out episode 1. It's there, or there. There ain't no canals near me, mate. I need a river or a lake.
So let's talk about lake fishing. Like the canals, Tom suggested using this one for those searching methods. I would do exactly the same for off the shore in a lake. Now you're going to have to retrieve it quite fast, and that will keep it up in the water and stop you hitting the bottom, which I'm assuming is like a shallow bay, if you like, of a lake. So you're casting from the shore, you retrieve it nice and quick, and that will keep it up in the water and hopefully attract a few follows for some pike. Now alternatively, if you're on the boat, you can cast this out and just let it sink, and that will go right through the water columns, and then you'll be able to retrieve it back up, maybe get some of them bottom dwelling pike, etc. Like Tom used on the canals, I would go for the flanker from the shore. That would keep it up in the water. It's not too deep of a lure, although if you're going to go on the boat, you can add a little weight on the front and that will sink right down, and that's a great lure for on the shore. And if you want to fish it from the boat, add a weight and that will get you sinking up and down through those water columns. Off the shore, I'll be using it weightless like Tom did on the canals with the 2 stinger treble hooks. That will keep it nice and shallow in the water. If I was on the boat, I'd be adding a weight and I'd be letting this bad boy sink right to the bottom, all the way down. I'd probably let it sit there for 10-20 seconds, and then I would jig it back up. If you want to go for an absolute beast of a secret weapon, me and Tom have used this on some huge lakes. This is one of the beast paddle tails, but we've added a spinning swimmer on the front, and we've got our trebles on there. We've even got a beast rattle on there as well. And this is great for those shallow bays where you'll have to retrieve it quite quickly in order to keep it off the bottom. But again, it's great for on the boat where it's just you can just let it sink, get it down through them water columns, and then get it back up through the water. There are some awesome lures, guys, that you can use on the lakes.
There's only one venue left, and that is the rivers. Now, we will get onto perch lures and zander lures, but let's finish off the pike fishing lures, and this one's about rivers. This is the McJerk Svartzonker. It's a big boy, over 100 grams. It sinks. Oh, that rattle, and this will give one of those motions. Each pause, a pike might smash it. Because of the rivers have a flow, you genuinely need to use heavier lures to fight the current. So that is one lure that I would definitely go with. And then its modified brother, the Svartzonker McHybrid. This lure is brand new, and as you can see, pretty much the same as the McJerk, but it's got this tail on, a little bit more reflection. It's got the glitter on there, glistening from the sun down, get the attention of a pike. As the canals and rivers, the Zilla spinner is an all-round lure for all venues. You cast this out on the river, you've just got to take the current into account, because where you cast it will move down. The Zilla spinner, let's say you're at a river, you get there and it's super weedy, there's weeds going around. I would use something like this with one of these weighted weedless hooks. On the top of this lure, it's got a little crevice there just to put your hook in, so your hook can go through weed and it won't get snagged up. So think about weedless fishing when it comes to rivers. And the final one is this glider. As you can see, it's a hard, straight bait with a killer rattle in it. Look at the state of that. Look at the bite marks. I last used this in a video that we did with DB fishing on a river, and a pike come and smashed it right in front of me. That rattle, that hang, killer. So they are the canal, river and lake pike fishing lures. Let's show you some sneaky little perch and zander lures.
Right then, mate, so we've missed out perch and zander. What would you use for canal, perch and zander?
Canal perch and zander, I would go for pulse shad.
Ooh.
For the canals, little orange number like that with a little 3 gram jig head on. Keeps it nice and light, get under them bridges, get in the middle of the canal where them zander like to hang out sometimes.
Ooh, what about a river?
Oh, okay, river, same kind of size, right? But I would go with a snap jig. So Berkley do these awesome little snap jigs, and they come with a little bill on the side of the jig head. And when you attach that to a lure, gives it that whoosh, whoosh, through the water
What does
motion.
it give it?
Gives it the whoosh, whoosh,
Okay,
like that, through
yeah.
the water motion, right? So as it's dropping down, it's kind of like fighting the currents, and it looks so good when you come up back against the current on the river, because you've always got to think about that flow on the river. So this is a scaled up version of what I've just shown you. A bigger snap jig, bigger sick vibe lure, and you can really see that what's going on there. Great lures. That probably would catch a zander on a river.
How big would you go lure-wise for perch and zander?
For perch,
Show me a lure, show me a lure.
Okay. That is about as big as I'd go for perch. I've caught perch on them, never caught a zander on them, but then we've really been struggling for zander lately. But they will 100% pick up the zander. Maybe I'd put a 5 gram jig head on that. Or maybe a 3 if I wanted it to sink a little bit slower.
Naughty,
maybe
that is.
keep it up in the water a little bit.
But what about these big boy zanders on big boy reservoirs?
Well, then I'd scale it. I would go a little bit higher. This is a 13 centimetre lure with a fork tail, and I would use that for a zander. Off a boat, jig head, down to the bottom, jigging it back up.
Stinger maybe.
Oh, that is killer zander bait, that is. I know there's a lot of options out there, guys, and we're just giving you a few of them, but you can really simplify it. Like Berkley, for example, do these awesome little packs. This is a perch drop shot kit. and you get all the little bits and bobs you need for drop shotting in there. Don't ignore the creature baits either, guys. This is what I caught my last perch on in my last video. This is a Perch Pro Pack. It comes with a 7 gram, a 5 gram and a 3 gram and all different sizes of lures. They will pick up perch and zander. That is a Perch and Zander Pro Pack if you ask me.
I reckon if you're just starting out and you don't know what to get,
perfect.
Get that.
Anyway, links to everything we've talked about is going to be in the description down there. So go check them out and buy everything.
There's 3 more episodes coming. How to catch a pike, how to handle a pike, how to unhook one, where to go to catch one. We're going to do a Zander episode and a perch episode. For the Zander episode, we're going to use footage from years ago because we haven't caught one in a while, have we?
I don't know what Zander is anymore.
So that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the video. Put in the comments what we've missed. Maybe give some tips to the other people that are watching the video because Sean would have missed it for sure. I've put everything in there, you know, no feedback for me, please. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching the video. Go check the store out. Thanks to Abu and Berkley for sponsoring this video. The Zilla range is the range and I can't wait until them rivers reopen.
Oh.
And I'm gonna lip grip some pike out.
Tom's gonna get some lips this year.
Thanks for watching the video.
All the way down. That's the one.